Hello. We're going to take a look here at a boom gate by Tau, the Italian company, called the Lux. The Lux has been designed, this is March 2014, and I guess I first saw the Lux about 2 years ago, as it was being developed as a replacement for their very successful boom gate called the City. The Lux is definitely a much heavier boom gate than the City, and my concern was that it would be a fair bit more expensive. But indeed, Tau have done a lot of work, a lot of homework, and it's within about 10%. Yes, slightly more expensive, but not what I thought it would be. I expected it to be a good 50% more, given the power of the motor they've installed, the spring system, the boom itself, the extras like the LEDs that you can install if you wish, as you can see they're flashing. I just simply expected it to be a much more expensive boom gate. So where we describe the City as the best value on the Australian market, there is no doubt in my mind at all that the Lux will take that crown and make it even more difficult for others to compete with. It is described as a 12-volt boom gate. That's despite the fact that the motor is an 18-volt motor. And the unique thing about this is it's been designed from the ground up. In other words, it hasn't borrowed components from anywhere else, and everything they've done deliberately with a purpose in mind. And even the control board is a brand new control board, and it's been designed around solar applications. So it was a natural, or I suppose a given, that you've got a 12-volt boom gate, that it lent itself perfectly to the solar application. And it's probably the first board that I've seen which is purely, not purely designed for solar, because it hasn't been, but it is, rather than solar being an add-on, solar is a distinctive option, and there are a couple of terminals that you wire your solar into, and a switch to conserve power. It really is a very, very nice board, and it's nice to have something specific rather than an add-on, as we so often get. The boom itself is about 6.5 meters that you see there. It's actually a two-piece boom, a 4 and a 3, and then you've got about 500 mil behind the main body casing itself, so it extends to about 6.5. It should, of course, have a boom receiver, as all boom gates over 3 meters should have. But for the purpose of our testing and for this demonstration, you don't see one there. The LED flashing lights are an option, as is the orange rubber strip. You probably can't see it, but you will see it shortly, that's attached to the bottom of the boom. So they're two options that you can add on. And the LED flashing lights is probably not an option you would add if you were going to use solar. I mean, obviously when we're using solar, we're trying to conserve power. It's not to say that you can't, just you take it into consideration. So you can see that orange strip there, and we're getting up a little closer. The first thing we're going to do is to remove that front cover, so that we can have a look inside, and I can describe what you see there. It's a simple key operation. You simply turn the key, and the cover lifts away, and we'll pop it out of the way altogether. Very solid, nice bolting points down at the bottom there. Easy boom to install. This, of course, is installed left-hand, as you see it there. The thing I like about it, one of the big selling points of the City was that it was a fork arrangement. It was neither left nor right. Installers loved it because they didn't have to do anything to change it from left to right. This is not the case. You do have to change it from left to right, but the job is very, very simple. They've done a great job on the design. Okay, what you can see there is two springs, and you might note they're the two tensioning springs, that they're colour coded, yellow and red. There are about 4 different colour codes for the springs, and that depends entirely upon the length of boom that you're going to use, because you can use this as a simple 4 metre if you wished, and you can, they are testing and using it in Europe as an 8 metre boom. So we're not going to be doing that here in Australia for some time, not until they've proved it in Europe anyway. You can see how easy it is there to swap from left to right. It's just a matter of undoing those springs, and you've got points at the bottom, so you can move across to the springs across on the bottom, and then you've got that other pivot point that you simply attach to on the motor arm. That motor hiding in there is a very, very successful tow motor that's been around a long time, called the R40. It's a powerful motor. Tow in fact have one on their warehouse, opens and closes a massive gate all day long, and the gate they're using it on is about twice what the motor's rated at, and but that gives you an indication of the power of that motor. So I was very, very pleased when I opened it up and I saw the R40 in there. I thought, gee, this has got to be the most powerful 12-volt boom gate in the market by a long shot. There's not too many 12-volt motors in the gate industry that are more powerful than that itself. So changing from left to right is a pretty simple exercise. Probably take you about 15 minutes to change the boom gate from left to right. You would then assemble your boom, put your 2 pieces together, your 3 and your 4 metre piece, and it simply slides in nice and easily into the boom receptor on the back before you put on its nice protective cover. Nicely powder coated, like a hammer tone style finish there on that dark grey, and the light grey is a smooth, shiny sort of a surface. And we will have the other springs, by the way, if you want to change the tension. So you're seeing the boom cover there. So the boom goes in. The cover's purely cosmetic, and I guess that's what tow is synonymous for, is doing things right and making sure that everything looks right, and access to the control board and everything is through that top plate there just above the LED light enclosure. We're going to have a look at the manual override. That thing you can see sticking out is actually a safety beam. We've just got it mounted there on that side. So it wouldn't ordinarily be there. It's just purely for our testing purposes. You could, of course, install it there, but if you simply buy a boom gate, a Lux boom gate, that will not be there. That's the manual override there, and what I like is it is personalised key. You simply turn the key, we'll lift the lever out, and then just turn it up. So hopefully we'll be able to see this. We get the arm out of the way, and you can see the boom just there at the top of the screen. You should have seen that come down, and the boom has gone up nicely to about 45 degrees. So indicating that our tension is quite good. There was no massive rush, just a light sort of pulling on those springs, and lifted the boom up to about 45 degrees. In fact, we might have a look at that. I've just relocked that back in, so that I can show you programming shortly. But let's just have a look at that boom. There you see it. That's where it came to rest. So all I did was release it. The boom rose by itself because of the tension on the springs, and rose to that point. It's the key to installing any boom gate is simply getting your tension right. If and that is beautiful tension when a boom lifts itself to about 45 degrees. So it shouldn't shoot all the way to the top. Neither should it drop all the way to the bottom. It should sit nicely there, somewhere around that 45 degrees. Then you've got nice tension. Okay, and then all of a sudden you find that programming is easy and control of the boom gate is easy. When you have too much tension or too little, you'll wonder why you can't control the thing, and it's the simple reason why. Now I'm just going to lock that back in. Alright, so we don't let the motor lock it in, we just gently move the boom so that it locks back into gear, so we can have a look at programming. Before we do that though, let's just take the cover off, and I just want to show you inside. Okay, you can see the transformer there on your far left, and you can see the control board then sitting in there next to it, nicely encased, nicely protected. Then you've got two battery holders there. So, you know, once again, thinking outside the square, remember this is 12 volts, so why would we have two batteries? It simply allows us to put in two 9 amp hour batteries. In other words, giving us a total of 18 amp hour battery backup. Battery backup is built into this unit. You don't need a charger. All you simply do is connect, put in your batteries, and just connect it to your terminals. It has a radio receiver built in. As I said, it is ready for solar, so you can simply connect if you're using solar, you've got two inputs to connect into, and you can organise it so it powers all the way down. We'll get a closer look at this board. Okay, M206 I think is the model of the control board. It's in the latest tower style. They've been making them like that now for 2 to 3 years. We have got a series of dip switches up the top that you need to set according to your preferences before you start programming. You've got 3 adjusters there, although we only use 2. One is for adjusting your auto close time, another one is to adjust for your sensitivity to things, the boom hitting things. You've got 3 buttons for programming transmitters, programming the unit, so you've got channel 1, channel 2, and also programming of the unit, pointing there to those potentiometers. In other words, but as I say, you only use 2 of them. Only 2 of them are available to you. So that's our main programming button. The other 2 are used for programming transmitters. So we're going into programming. Programming is so simple. I'm pressing and holding that button now, and we should see a light come on, and there we go. Our light is flashing, and what will happen is the boom will start to rise. You can see it there, rising. It looks for the stop, it finds the stop, looking back. Okay, we still don't do anything, we wait. Once it's satisfied, and there we go again. Now it's going to go through a closing maneuver. Down we go until it finds the closing stop, and that's it. That's programming. You're through. There's nothing much more to do to this boom gate. That board, by the way, for the professional installers out there, it will take your programmer. So in other words, your programmer can plug into it. Professional installers often use a programmer to fine-tune boom gates and gates and things like that. It just simply means that they adjust the closing percentages, closing speeds and opening speeds, things like that. You're showing here the transmitter, and you normally program it with button number 1 there for your transmission. The simple case of press that, the LED comes on, press your remote, and that's it. It's all programmed in. This one's already programmed in, so we hit it, there we go, and we can see that the boom's operational. Yes, so professional installers, if you do want to use your programmer, you can. I can see no need for it, but it's available to you. That's as simple as this board is. All the LEDs are for lighting up, showing up your different things like your photo cells and your push buttons and all of those sorts of things. But gee, simplicity in itself, they've done a great job with this board, and they've I guess shied away from putting in an LCD screen like everybody else is doing, and I don't think that's such a bad thing. So let's just have a look again. We press our remote control, LEDs come on. You can change when the LEDs come on. You can have them on permanently. You can make them last, so you can have them running right through this cycle, waiting until the auto close. There's all sorts of options available to you in the programming as far as your LEDs are concerned. And of course the standard boom gate doesn't come with LEDs. They take about 5 minutes to install. So if you buy them as a kit, you can buy the boom only, or you can buy the casing LEDs, or both, if you wish. I think I've mentioned battery backup is dead simple. 2 batteries and you're off and running. You don't have to use 2. You could use a single battery, but with the space inside there for the 2, I'd say why not? Would make an awful lot of sense to install the 2. And if you wanted solar, it would just simply be a case of putting a couple of solar panels up, running into those batteries, change the terminals that it goes into, and you've got yourself a solar boom gate. That's the Lux in a nutshell. Certainly a better boom gate than the City. And that's no disrespect to the City. I mean, the City is now probably 10 to 15 years old, so you would expect the Lux to be a better boom gate. But I think the most impressive thing is that they simply didn't follow everybody else, as this industry is usually does, and they thought outside the square, and they've made a far, far superior product. And whilst the City might have been found wanting, I suppose, in the last few years, as other boom gates came to the fore, it'll be a long, long time before anybody gets anywhere near this boom gate. It will be a big seller for sure. Well, that's about it. Thanks for listening. And of course, if you've got any further questions, please email us at service@automaticsolutions.com.au. Thank you.